Let's start working with TaleForms Creator. Before we start, I would like to let you know that I will be explaining quite a lot as if you do not know Blender. So it's really made for beginners and it could be a little bit slow for some of you. So don't hesitate to skip through the parts that are actually relevant for you. Okay, so let's start. If everything is gray, you just have to change the render mode. The TaleForms Creator is actually made out of two parts. The first one is start your story here, and the other one is the narrative arc. Let's do start your story here first. And it's usually something you do only once. And once it's set up, you can start working on your charts. So the first thing here is going to be defining your title, TaleForms Creator, and it's going to auto update on the top left corner. Then let's call it episode 02. And then you can add your name. Now we have a few buttons here. The first one is switch theme. If you want to see it in white, work with a white theme, it's possible. And then you have show and hide legend. If you want to render it out without the legend, you can hide it and then you can render it out and you have a clean render. And in here, this part here is info. And in there, you have some information that is in the PDF document. And this is basically explaining what's happening in here. What do these colors mean? Now, you don't have to use the same system as me. What actually matters with the chart here is that you have something that is visually quite readable. All right. So for example, for me, the purple color here means the theme intensity, and I will be defining it at some story beats, right? But for you, it could be something else. It could represent the pacing, for example. Whatever works for you, go for it. Okay. You don't have to use the same system as I do. You can press on the info. It's going to explain everything. I'm not going to read it out. You just take your time, check it out, and it's just going to give you some more context. And this is also something you can hide. And once you're done with this, you can just close your tab and then open the narrative arc. The narrative arc is where the bulk of your work is going to happen. So you have a few themes set up already. So you have 3 beats by default. You have some color set up, and also the curve is already kind of edited already. All right. So we have this part here where we're going to structure our story. The idea here is that you work with it, right? So you add a few steps by pressing on a plus button. If you want to select a specific step, I usually go into this column and then I select the step I want. Now, if I want to delete one, and then you press on the minus button and it's going to delete the specific step you selected. Now, each step has a standard name called story beat 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can rename it. There we go. And you will see that it's going to update here, right? Another thing that's actually important is that you can change the order of each step. If I select confrontation, I can press on the bottom arrow here and you will see it's going to switch to the second place. If I select the other arrow, it goes back to the first place. So it's really made for you to work with and not to have already a defined ID or setup ID for a story. It's to write it as you go and then you can change it and edit it. Now we have 3 numbers per step. The one on the left is your theme. You can type in your numbers like this, right? You can type in whatever number you want, and you will see that you cannot go higher than 5 and you cannot go lower than 0. So those numbers are locked into a specific range. And in here, it's going to show the theme intensity. The second number here is pacing, and it's basically represented by those yellow dots. Now, the last one is a reveal point. And the reveal point, it's a piece of information that you will show to your audience, and it's going to change the perception of the movie or game or whatever. And the bigger the reveal point, the more impact it has in your story. So the second step here is scene notes. If you press on scene notes, you will have a text box appearing. And in there, you can type in a few things. And you will see that it is basically saved for each step. So now I'm on step number 1. If I go on step number 4, you will see that it is empty. I will just write in here, step number 4, test. And you will see that if I change, I go back to the first one, I have what I had here. And then if I go back to the fourth one, I have this text. And it's just for you to add some notes and extra information for your story or game. So if you want to hide it, you can repress on the scene notes. Now, there are a few things that you need to know about the text editor in Blender. If you prefer having a whitish background, I would recommend to check the PDF file that comes with the add-on. In there, there's a section that's explaining how to make the background whiter, and then whatever you are writing should be black. All of this is explained in my PDF file. The next step is your color script, or how the colors of your environment is switching. The beginning of your story is around here, or the beginning of your game is around here, or your project, and usually it's quite linear. So you go from one point to another, to another, to another, then you get to the end of your animation. If you want to change it, you can slide it and you will see that it updates on both color wheels. If you want to add a new color, you can press on the plus button and then you have the slider, and in here you can change your colors. Now you can also make it lighter, you can make it darker. Of course, like you can also have some control on the transition. If you want to switch from one color to another, and let's say for story beat 2, I would like to have a switch from red, blue, green. What I will be doing, I will just bring the red closer to my step 2. Let's do this. It's gonna take a minute, but we will get there. And also, if you don't have enough space, just make your side panel wider. In here, we have maybe some blue. So let's go to blue, something like this. And then this slider is gonna be green. Make it green, and then I will also bring it closer. And now we have a short transition of color in story beat 2. So you can really be very specific with this. It's just a matter of adding more controllers. Another thing we have here is it's basically the same system as the story world. It's character arc. And this one is displayed on the first circle. I'm separating them because otherwise you will have too much information on one place and it's not going to be readable. And it's basically the same system. So the character arc, usually how I see it is when the character is evolving into a positive version of himself. I use bright tones, and when it's like going the other way around, where the character is going downhill morally, psychologically, etc., I go with darker tones. And again, in here, you can add some controllers. And let's say I have story beat 3. Let's do the same, where everything goes really bad for the character, and he starts doubting himself, etc., etc. So we have a lot of negative emotions. I will try to place it around story beat 3. And then maybe just before that, he was like super happy and thought that everything was going well. And then maybe after that, he's still kind of moody. He's not going super well, but he's like maybe healing. Okay. So it depends on how you want to see it, but this is how I use it. It's really powerful and useful to have a visual representation of how your character is evolving throughout the story. And then last but not least, the climax or the rising action. The first time you're going to work with this is going to be a little bit frustrating. If you do it once, you will get used to it. You have like little points here. If you press on them and you drag them, you can really shape your climax curve the way you want. If you press on an empty spot on the curve, you are creating a new point. And if you want to delete it, you can press on the X button on the bottom right corner, and it's going to delete the last selected point. Again, if you don't have enough space, make it wider. It's going to be easier, and then you can shape it the way you like. And then once you are done, you can press on Save Shard, and then you can save it, of course. For the people that are not used to Blender, let's say you changed views or you are now in camera view, like here. If you press the number 0, you go back to the top view and you're looking through your top view. This is what the camera is going to render. And if you press Save Shard, it's going to render what you see in there. So that's it. Again, use it the way you like it. You don't have to follow the charts. If you forgot about the info, you can always check it out. Everything is written in there. I'm just starting a Discord channel in case you have questions or you would like to see some updates for the future versions of TaleForms. Don't hesitate to go there, check it out. And the best thing you can do is just share the video to anyone who could use that tool. So it's really meant for everyone: writers, artists, concept artists, art directors. So yeah, that's why it's made really in a way where it is easy to comprehend. So don't hesitate to share it if you like it. And thanks for watching.